everyone, it's Paper Crafting Mama, and I'm finally back and ready to show you more paper crafting projects. Since I'm back, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a different theme every month and then put out a different paper crafting project each week that goes along with that theme. Now, if you like any of the projects that you see on my videos, make sure to check out my Facebook page for more information on how to purchase these as kits. I'm really excited for this first theme, which is going to be back to school for the rest of August. Our first project within that theme is going to be this adorable pencil holder. As you can see, it'll hold 4 pencils and just has a lot of cute details to it, like an apple stamped background, a cute little apple here, and back to school saying. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is cut a piece of cardstock. I've used the Real Red cardstock from Stampin' Up, and I've cut it down to 6 3/8 inch by 3 5/8 inch. And then to add a little bit more detail, I went ahead and I stamped on an apple background using the Real Red ink. And the stamp that I used for this was this apple background stamp that I got in my school time stamp set from Paper Tray Ink. So after everything is stamped, you're going to go ahead and you're going to score it. So this first score line here is 3/8 of an inch, and then you're going to score at 1 5/8 inch, 2 inches, 3 1/4 inch, and then you're going to flip it over this way, and you're going to score at 3/8 inch. After you get all the scoring done, you're going to go ahead and fold along those score lines. Alright, so now that we have everything scored, I'm going to go ahead and grab a pair of scissors. What we're going to do with these scissors is we're going to go ahead and cut along these bottom score lines up until that 3/8 inch line right there. And what this is going to do is just going to create little flaps for you to be able to create the bottom of your pencil holder. Now when you get to this last square right here on the right hand corner, we're going to go ahead and cut that out completely. Like so. So then you have a little notch. And the way I like to fold it is I always like this where I cut the notch. I like this to be the outside piece. So when I attach it, that's going to be on the outside there. So I'm going to lay this over to the side for just a sec while I show you how I did the rest of these pieces. So for the back to school, all I did was I used the back to school stamp on white cardstock. So I have my white cardstock right here. Just a piece of scrap since it is a small stamp. Here's my back to school stamp. And this also came in the school time stamp set from Paper Tray Ink. I'm going to use my Real Red ink spot. And stamp up the same. And go ahead and stamp it onto my paper. And then what I'm going to get is I'm going to get my 1-inch square punch. Kind of line it up the best I can. Alright, so there's that piece. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use this little apple stamp that I have. Again, using my Real Red ink spot. I'm gonna stamp, oops. Go ahead and stamp that onto my white cardstock. And for this, I'm going to use a 1 1/4 circle punch. Again, just centering it and lining it up the best I can. Let's see. All right. The next one is easy. I'm just going to take my 1 3/8 punch and the Real Red cardstock. I'm going to punch out a circle for that. And then I've already punched out a 1 3/4 scallop out of Daffodil Delight from Stampin' Up! Alright, so there's all my little pieces. I can go ahead and put those together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some adhesive to the back of my apple. And I actually like to use tweezers when I'm attaching this. Zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little better. But when I have the tweezers, it helps me center it a little bit better than if I were to just do it freehand by myself. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals on the back of this. I'm just adding a couple to attach this to my scallop. Whoops. Alright, there we go. So now that I have those pieces ready, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this together. I'll zoom back out so you can see the whole thing. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to attach this side to this side. So I'm going to attach the adhesive right on the inside of this one. And I actually like to use the red sticky tape for this because I find that it holds a lot better. And when doing some of these 3D paper craft projects, you definitely want them to hold. And I have just found that this stuff works the best. So I'm going to come in here and trim off the excess. Once it's all ready, I can go ahead and put it together. Remove, find the end that works the best. Remove my red sticky tape. And sometimes it helps me. If I can't get it, I'll use a pair of tweezers. So now I can remove the back to the red sticky tape and go ahead and attach it to my flap. Like so. Okay, so now that the side is all together, I can go ahead and I can do the bottom. If you want to do the bottom before you put the side together, that's fine too. So I'm just on these little flaps right here, I'm just going to use a little bit of adhesive on either side. And then on one of the larger flaps, I'm going to use some of that double-sided sticky tape to make sure that it stays closed. Because nothing would be worse than having a pencil case holder on the bottom come off and you dropping all your pencils out of it. Making sure I don't get the other tab. Alright. So I can go ahead and do the little pieces and then push it down. Okay, and then I can go ahead and remove the backing from the red sticky tape and put my other end down. Alright. And again, I'd like to take a pencil and just put it inside so that I can make sure that everything on the bottom is sticking together. So far so good. There we have our beautiful case, and now it's time to add the little pieces we made earlier. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to attach the apple, and I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, making sure that I can get it to stick. And I don't center this since I have the back to school little square too. So I'm just gonna, I kind of eyeball it. If you want to sit and measure exactly where you want it, that's fine. So then I just attach it that way. And then with the back to school square, I go ahead and I add just one dimensional to the center of it. And I attach it right underneath. And I attach it right underneath my scallop. Like so. And there we have it. And all I have left to do is to go ahead and add my pencils. And there we have it, two really cute pencil case holders. Again, if you're interested in purchasing this kit, make sure to check out my Facebook fan page, or you can email me at papercrafting.mama@gmail.com with any questions. And I hope to see you back next week for our next back to school project. Bye!